Today we're going to tell you a story. It's about one woman's absolutely brutal job hunt, a huge mountain of rejections, and a discovery that completely shatters a myth that so many of us believe about saturated job markets.
It's a tough question to ask yourself, isn't it? And it's really at the very heart of the story we're exploring today. Now, before we dive in, if you enjoy stories like this, please follow the channel and share this with someone. It genuinely helps this page grow and allows me to create more stories for you. Okay, so this story is about a woman named Tanya. She was working in an English language call center, but her real dream, her passion, was to land a Spanish bilingual role. The problem wasn't her ambition. It was this nagging, all too familiar feeling.
That's Tanya in her own words. And we've all felt that, right? That little voice in your head that tells you to wait, you need to prepare just a little bit more, that you're just not quite good enough yet. But what makes her story so incredibly powerful is what she decided to do about that feeling. She didn't wait to feel ready. She just decided to act.
Tanya knew if she had any shot at this, she had to completely immerse herself in Spanish. So she didn't just study, no, she built a whole system to force her own growth. It was this relentless, piece-by-piece pursuit of fluency.
And this is where you can really see her hustle shine. I mean, she didn't just apply for a government scholarship and then sit back and wait. While that was in the works, she went ahead and enrolled in a separate online school. She was joining these social media language challenges just to stay sharp. And then, get this, through one of those challenges, she actually won a full year of free classes. This wasn't just luck, this was her creating her own opportunities at every single turn.
So with her Spanish skills totally sharpened, Tanya was ready to face the job market. But she didn't just kind of dip her toes in the water. No, she decided to dive in head first with a strategy that, let's be honest, would be absolutely terrifying for most of us. She sent out 60 applications. Not 5, not 10, 60. It was like a shock and awe campaign aimed at the entire industry. She just knew, most would go unanswered. But this wasn't only about finding a job. It was about gathering data. Out of those 60 applications, only about 20 companies even responded for an interview. Just think about that for a second. That means 40 times she was met with total silence or one of those generic rejection emails. For most people, that would be completely soul-crushing, but Tanya, she saw it differently.
So, here's the real game changer. She reframed the entire experience. What looked like failure from the outside was to her like a masterclass in the hiring process. Every single interview, even the ones that went absolutely nowhere, taught her what questions recruiters ask, what skills they really value, and what the tests are like. She wasn't just job hunting, she was conducting reconnaissance. And then, in the middle of this lonely, grinding process of applications and interviews, something totally unexpected happened. Just a small moment of human connection that really changed her momentum.
It wasn't a job offer. It was simply a recruiter who saw her effort and took a second to reach out and say, hey, keep going. If this one doesn't work out, we'll try another. In a process that can feel so impersonal, that small bit of encouragement was, as she put it, a huge help. It was a little reminder that she wasn't just a number in a spreadsheet.
And then, after weeks and weeks of interviews and assessments, an email landed in her inbox. It was from a company she'd interviewed with, one she wasn't feeling particularly optimistic about, actually. You can almost hear the doubt in her voice, even after it all happened. The company had given her that classic line, "We'll let you know," which, as we all know, usually means thanks, but no thanks. She had pretty much moved on, assuming it was just another closed door. But it wasn't. This email, it contained a formal job offer. After 60 applications, dozens of rejections, and battling her own self-doubt, the breakthrough had finally come. This is the moment. This is what all that struggle was for. That immense relief and just pure joy of realizing her journey was just beginning. Her bilingual career wasn't a dream anymore. It was real. But what's amazing is that her personal victory led to an even bigger discovery. See, throughout her whole journey, Tanya kept hearing the same warning from everybody, this piece of common wisdom that almost stopped her before she even got started. The story that was going around was that there were just too many speakers, not enough jobs, and that it was a total waste of time to even try. It was a really discouraging narrative, one that probably kept a lot of talented people on the sidelines. Tanya's experience right there on the front lines, applying to 60 different companies, gave her this unique ground-level view of the market. A view that completely contradicted what everyone else was saying. And this is just brilliant. Look at what she found. The Spanish bilingual field wasn't just customer service anymore. She was seeing job openings for recruiters who needed Spanish, for hiring managers, and even for these really specialized roles like medical note takers for American doctors who have Spanish-speaking patients. The opportunities weren't shrinking, they were diversifying into all these new, unexpected areas. The market wasn't saturated at all, it was evolving.
And that was the great revelation. Her relentless 60-application strategy didn't just land her a job, it completely debunked a myth. The market wasn't full, it was just growing in ways that nobody was really talking about. So maybe the next time you hear a market is saturated, ask yourself, what if it's just expanding in a direction no one is looking at yet? If this story moved you or made you think differently, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and follow the channel for more stories like this.